Hello everyone, so today I thought I would tackle the huge task of filming my entire physical TBR. Now, if you can't tell from the way the book's turned around behind me, there's a lot of books on my physical TBR. Because I have a bit of a problem when it comes to buying books, and as you will see throughout this video, with buying series when I haven't read them. But yeah, I love watching these types of videos, and I think it would be great to document every year. In a year's time, hopefully, we can do an updated version, and hopefully there will be less. Unlikely, but hopefully. So yeah, this is going to be a long video, so I'm not going to spend too long on this intro, and we're just going to get into it. So starting off with fantasy. The first three books I am going to say I'm actually just going to put a picture on the screen because they're on the very top of my shelf and they're going to be a struggle to get down. So the first book is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. We then also have City of Lost Souls and City of Heavenly Fire, again both by Cassandra Clare. Next we have Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Princess, also by Cassandra Clare. The Shadowhunters Codex by, you guessed it, Cassandra Clare. Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare. I actually hate that this is this is the naked cover, there's no dust jacket. Tales from the Shadowhunters Academy, Lady Midnight. Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness, The Red Scrolls of Magic. And finally, The Lost Book of the White. That is the last of the Cassandra Clare Shadowhunters universe books. Then we have The Assassin's Blade, the entirety of the Throne of Glass series. A Court of Frost and Starlight, A Court of Silver Flames, Crescent City, and House of Sky and Breath. Again, all by Sarah J Maas. Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, and Demon in the Wood, all by Leigh Bardugo. Book of Night by Holly Black, Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerry Maniscalco. Apparently I need to look at her name to say it. The Diviners, Lair of Dreams, Before the Devil Breaks You, and The King of Crows, all by Libba Bray. Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, both by Stephanie Garber. The Caraval trilogy, also by Stephanie Garber, which is Caraval, Legendary, and Finale. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. The Kiss of Deception and The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar. Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Days of Blood and Starlight and Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. Twin Crowns and Cursed Crowns by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. The Nature of Witches by Catherine Griffin. Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas. The Short Second Life of Brie Tanner by Stephanie Meyer. Betrayed by PC and Kristen Cast. This one actually has a bit of a story to it. I was reading it and then got caught in a bit of a rainstorm and the book got soaked through. And it doesn't look as bad as it could do, but it put me off reading it until I can get a new copy, and I just never did. The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. The entirety of the Vampire Diaries series. Barry Trotter and the Shameless Parody by Michael Gerber, which I just got for 50p at a market, so I thought it would be interesting. Percy Jackson, Singer of Apollo. Heroes of Olympus, The Demigod Diaries. Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes. The Red Pyramid, Throne of Fire, The Serpent's Shadow, Magnus Chase the Sword of Summer, Magnus Chase the Hammer of Thor, Magnus Chase the Ship of the Dead, The Trials of Apollo the Hidden Oracle, The Trials of Apollo the Dark Prophecy, The Trials of Apollo the Burning Maze, Trials of Apollo the Tyrant's Tomb, Magnus Chase 9 from the Nine Worlds, Hotel Valhalla Guide to the North Worlds, Daughter of the Deep, all of which are by Rick Riordan, The Last Fallen Star by Gracie Kim, Dragon Pearl by Yoon-Ha Lee, Skanda and the Unicorn Thief and Skanda and the Phantom Rider by A.F. Stedman, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sue Lee Tan. Clearly the sticker peeling went well on this one. The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, Beauty and the Beast Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly, Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell, Heartless by Marissa Meyer, Lost Boy by Christina Henry, Hooked, Wretched, Twisted, and Scarred by Emily McIntyre, Poor Unfortunate Soul, Fairest of All, and The Beast Within, all by Serena Valentino, Peter Darling by Austin Chant, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sandhu Mandana, and finally for fantasy, Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. Next we have Sci-Fi. So I have the whole of the Lorien Legacies series. I Am Number 4, The Power of 6, The Rise of 9, The Fall of 5, The Revenge of Seven, The Fate of Ten, and United as One, all by Pittacus Law. June by Frank Herbert, Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. On to Dystopian, which is a subcategory of sci-fi, but I still count it separately. Shatter Me, Unravel Me, Ignite Me, Restore Me, and Defy Me, all by Tahara Mafi. The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and The Crown, all by Kira Cass. Allegiance and Four by Veronica Roth. Scythe by Neil Schusterman. And finally, Noughts and Crosses and Naught Forever by Mallory Blackman. Into my brief section of historical fiction. Some of this is slightly historical fantasy, some of it is just historical. But yeah. The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. Commotion of the Caribbean by Alex Wheatle. The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks by Mackenzie Lee. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Three Sisters by Heather Morris. And They Went Left by Monica Hesse. Next we are going into our mystery, thriller, horror category. I've decided to lump all these together because I find often it's hard to distinguish between a mystery and a thriller, or a thriller and horror, like pre-reading a book. I also have included all my dark academia in this because I feel like that's the best genre to fit it in. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielowski. The Atlas Six and The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. Ninth House and Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. These are the very pretty Illumicrate editions, and I shall not be reading them until I have normal editions, because these are too pretty to read. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. The A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, so A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead, all by Holly Jackson. The Custons by Karen M. McManus. Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Promise Boys by Nick Brooks. A Night to Die For by Lisa Schroeder. The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. The Mysterious Case of the Alberton Angels by Janice Hallett. The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. Yes, I'm aware this is the fourth book in a series. No, I do not own any of the other books. The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. The Christmas Murder Game by Alexandra Benedict. The Key in the Lock by Beth Underdown. Miss Aldridge Regrets by Louise Hare. Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead and Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun by Elle Cosimino. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. The Golden Spoon by Jessa Maxwell. Last One to Die by Cynthia Murphy. Pretty Little Liars Unbelievable by Sarah Shepard. Five Little Liars by Amanda K. Morgan. Hashtag Murder Funding and Hashtag No Escape by Gretchen McNeil. The Maid by Nita Prose. True Crime Story by Josephine Knox. The Night Swim by Megan Goldin. Girl 11 by Amy Suter Clark. Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. You Will Know Me by Megan Abbott. The Chain by Adrian McKinty. Confessions by Kane Minato. Breaking by Amanda Cassidy. Good as Dead by Susan Walter. A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. How to Kill Your Family, which I may or may not have 2 copies of, by Bella Mackey. Yellowface by R.F. Kwong. So Happy For You by Celia Lasky. A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. The Only One Left by Riley Sager. The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Rashani Choksky. Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Tender as the Flesh by Augustina Baz-Taraka. Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung. Under the Dome by Stephen King. And It by Stephen King. On to probably my biggest genre, which is romance. Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. The Summer I Turned Pretty series by Jenny Han. So The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. Fix Her Up, Love Her or Lose Her, Tools of Engagement, Hook, Line and Sinker, and My Killer Vacation, all by Tessa Bailey. Autobiography, Inner Holidays, and The Soulmate Equation, all by Christina Lauren. Shipped by Angie Hockman. Ugly Love, It Ends With Us, Reminders of Him, Layla, Verity, and All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Maggie Moves On, Things We Never Got Over, and Things We Hide From the Light, all by Lucy Score. The Cheat Sheet and When in Rome, both by Sarah Adams. Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbett. The Spanish Love Deception and The American Roommate Experiment, both by Eleanor Armas. Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. Happy Place and The People We Meet on Vacation, both by Emily Henry. Husband Material by Alexis Hall. Something Fabulous, also by Alexis Hall. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Flawless, Heartless, and Powerless, all by Elsie Silver. Twisted Hate and Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. The Air by Sophie Lark. The whole Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. So that's The Deal, The Mistake, The Score, The Goal, and The Legacy. Strongly Cove with Love by Mariana Zapata, Terms and Conditions and The Final Offer by Lauren Asher, Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home, and Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, all by Jessa Hastings. American Royals by Catherine McGee, The Royal Treatment by Melanie Summers, Falling Hard for the Royal Guard by Megan Clausen, A Show for Two by Tashi Buiyan, Scandalised by Ivy Owens, XOXO by Axio, The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry, Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez, Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan, Felix Ever After by Kaysen Calendar, How It All Blew Up by Arvin Amadi, Right Where I Left You by Julian Winters, The Summer of Broken Rules by Kate L. Walther, Never Forget You by Fiona Lucas, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, See You Yesterday, Today, Tonight, Tomorrow, and The X-Talk, all by Rachel Lynn Solomon, The Roommate Situation by Katie Bailey, The Hookup Plan by Farah Rocken, The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, The Marriage Game by Sarah Desai, Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, To Have and to Hoax by Martha Waters, Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma, The Last Beginning by Lauren James, Out of Love by Hazel Hayes, Booked on a Feeling by JC Lee, The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds, All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahara Murphy, Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Scattered Showers by Rainbow Rowell, Burn for You by J.T. Geisinger, Dear Ava by Isla Madden Mills, The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello, 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, I Kissed Shara Wheeler, also by Casey McQuiston, and I know that all of Alex Oseman's books aren't technically romance, but I'm just keeping them together anyway. I Was Born for This, Loveless, This Winter, Solitaire, Radio Silence, and Nick and Charlie, all by Alice Oseman. On to general fiction / literary fiction / books that I don't really know what the genre is, so they go here. Carrie Soto is Back, Malibu Rising, and Daisy Joneston 6, all by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Bachman, Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, again 2 copies because I have a problem, Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid, Blackout by many authors, Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reid, Black Book by Matteo Escarapor, Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams, Notes on an Execution by Danya Kakafka, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, Call Me By Your Name by Andre Asserman, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, The Other Ones by Fran Hart, and Everyone Dies Famous in a Small Town by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. Now we have my small collection of middle grade that is not Rick Riordan / Rick Riordan adjacent. We have the School for Good and Evil series by Simon Chinani. So we have The School for Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, and The Last Ever After, and all 5 books in the Pages & Co series. Next up we have classics. Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck, The Complete Works of William Shakespeare, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, A Christmas Carol and Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Passing by Nella Larson, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Smith, Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, Flowers in the Attic by Virginia Andrews, The ABC Murders, 450 from Paddington, and Then There Were None, all by Agatha Christie, Lord of the Flies by William Golding, 1984 by George Orwell, The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, and Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Next up is graphic novels, manga, comics, etc. Volumes 4 to 8 of A Spy Family, Volume 1 of Blue Flag, Volume 1 of Witch Hat Atelier, Volume 1 of My Hero Academia, Volume 1 of Assassination Classroom, Volume 1 of One Piece, Volume 1 of The Hunters Guild Red Hood, Volume 1 of The Promised Neverland, Volume 1 of Moriarty the Patriot, Volume 1 of Given, Fence Volume 5, Killing Stalking Volume 1, The Amazing Spider-Man Bind-Up Waterzone Special Edition situation, and the same thing for Captain America. On to non-fiction, starting with autobiographies, memoirs, etc. No One Can Change Your Life Except For You by Laura Whitmore, Nell Wilson, My Story, Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry, Madly Deeply, The Alan Rickman Diaries, Michael McIntyre, A Funny Life, The Audacity by Catherine Ryan, You've Got to Laugh by Alison Hammond, Me, Elton John, Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. Onto just general non-fiction. Sex Cult Nun by Faith Jones, The Ruin of Witches by Malcolm Gaskill, What It Means to Be Mixed Race by Rachel Britton by Remy Adekoya, The Five, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold, This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay, Talking with Serial Killers, Sleeping with Psychopaths by Christopher Berry D. Finally, I do have some like non-fiction acting books back at uni for my course, but when I did leave that I would actually count as part of my collection for like personal reading purposes is The Songs of Spider-Man. I forget who it's by, but it's just about the Spider-Man musical, so yeah. Okay, so that is it for my entire physical TBR. Every single book I own that I have not read yet, that I bought for personal use and not for uni. Wow. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I think on my Goodreads it's like 320 something. There will be a number somewhere on the screen. But yeah, if you would like to see a reading vlog of any of these books, please let me know. If you've read any of these and you think I should either really prioritise one or I can sort of forget about one for a while until I really cut down my TBR, then please do let me know. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye!